Another gorgeous day in Florida. Slightly different project, a little easier project, a little quicker project today. My beautiful Ram 2500. I'm going to be changing out my magnetic mount for my phone to one that will charge the phone while mounted. And then I'm going to run the cable back to the back of the Android phone, I'm sorry, the Android radio, so that way there'll be no cables up front. I pop it in and I'll charge my phone. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to take the old one off, and it's just a simple ball in there, you see? You twist that, pop it right out. These are a pretty standard size and shape. So we'll put the new one right onto its place. All right, now we're going to install the old one. Put the screw-on ring first. And you see, for this test install, I'm going to have this pointing down so the cable just hangs a little bit. I think when I'm done, I might even have it point to the side here or something. We'll see, but I'll start with it just kind of down like this. And it rotates. You can move it around. Just loosen the screw in the back. Turn that on. Again, this is part of a video where everybody and their mother should know how to do this stuff. And then we're just going to use the existing USB I've got for right now just to do a test. Make sure this thing works. You know, you get stuff from Amazon and via China. Sometimes it doesn't work. Alright, so now we're going to pop this mother on there. Oh, charges. 86% charging. So now I don't have to plug the phone in. I just pop it up here. That's not good. Make sure. Okay, right. Get in the right spot that holds. Pop it on there, and it charges for you. Cool. So the next phase is I'm going to move the cable back down through here to the back of this. So that way we'll have this cable here. But even now, with the cable here, not a big deal. Looks fine. You can see it syncs right up to the Android. So it's good there. So I've got this installed now. And I got the cable. I did the test. Works good. So now I'm going to take this whole bezel off. It's pretty easy to remove. You see up here. Because I upgraded this mount, it's these two Phillips head screws. If you haven't changed anything out, it'd be two T20 Torx screws up here. But this kit came with these longer, slightly longer screws to allow this through. And what I'm hoping is some of the holes here might be big enough to accommodate this adapter. So this goes to the back of this, and you have this on the outside. So I'm hoping either this piece will slide down through, or the USB-C style cable, which powers it, can come up. So we'll just have a minimal cable coming out of here, hopefully from this side, and plug right into this. That way there's no cable up front here, and I pop my phone in here and it charges and it syncs up to my system here. So I'm going to remove these two screws and pull this out. All right, I've got those two screws out. See it going right there. So now this should just pull out like that. And you'll see that the shifter's in the way. We'll work it around here, no problem. So I've noticed on my mount, the USB cable fits through perfectly. Isn't that great? So now I just gotta make this hole a little bit bigger to fit through here, because you see there's nothing in the bottom. You see my hand down there. There's nothing in there. So I'm gonna take this to the bench and widen up a little bit. Okay, I'm back at the bench. I just need this hole for this to fit through. You see, it's just a piece of plastic. It's kind of a dumb, you know, you don't even see this piece because I'm going to have a piece on top of this. So I want to run it through there. I'm also going to line it up, make sure I cut this way, not that way. That way it lines up with the mounting bracket I'm using. So here's where the mounting bracket sits. So I'm just going to take a marker and draw how big I want my hole to be. You can kind of see my markings there. So a couple ways you can do this. You can just take a simple sander. You can use a kitchen steak knife. It actually cuts this pretty well. You can drill both sides. So whatever you're most comfortable with, just make your hole the same size as that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a drill bit, same size as the existing hole. And I'm just going to work it side to side here and expand it just a little bit. Doesn't need much. You see it comes at an angle, sort of. So you want to keep it at that angle so it stays consistent. Just make it barely big enough for this USB-C to go through, because we know it goes through that metal already. And then we're just going to smooth out the top so it lays flat when we put the metal back on. Got it through, got it flush, looking good. And this USB piece is just going to come around and we'll plug it in right there. We'll figure out where we want it. We got plenty of slack, you can see, to work it in and out and find how much length we need. Now to go back in the truck. I figured this step's a no-brainer, but I'm sure the USB plugs fit and it should be fine. So now we're going to put this in the back of there into the USB adapter port. There's only one place it fits and it's going to go right in. I got it cinched up too to kind of, you know, make it a cleaner install. And you see it's just right there on the top plug. Right, there's actually two ports. I got one kind of running down back to this thing over here, and the other one I'm gonna run up through here. It's just gonna plug in right there, and then once I get this, I'll kind of wrap this back up nice and neat and have it hanging next to that. All right, I got that in. I got this wrapped up nice and neat in here. I'm just gonna push this back into home, and just as it pops out, it pops back in, and then we'll replace this up here with the two screws to hold it in place. All right, everything's back in place. You see a whole bunch of cables hanging out here. So what we'll do now, hey, got a pretty face in the reflection of my blue glasses. Let's boot this bad boy up and test out the charger. So now, I'm just gonna pop this right here. Oh, and it's charging. Look at that. Charging. Happy. No cables viewable because the phone covers that part over there. So this is a great low profile install. Very clean. Works great with the system. I recommend doing something similar if you have an Android radio on any. If they have a dash here, a simple hole no bigger than the size of this. And you can see here, because of this low profile I use, it you know, looks really clean, looks really nice. So it's a great system. So, like I said, short video today. Not much to it, but this is a huge improvement over having all these cables hanging and dangling, just looking silly. So, do something similar if you got an Android radio. Highly recommend it. And keep upgrading your life.